First thing we need to do is to create a table within the database to store the user's details in. And this is what we're going to do now. So the first thing you need to do is open phpMyAdmin. So I've already got the main screen open, but if you haven't got this open, all you do is open MAMP, click the Open Web Start page. Hover over Tools and click phpMyAdmin. So I'm just going to bump the font size up so you can see what I'm doing. And we'll go to our tasks DB. And you can see here we've currently got a table called TBL tasks. This is the table that we created obviously in our previous lessons, and this is the test data for the tasks. So we'll go back to tasks DB. We need to create a new table to hold the users. So we'll call it TBL users. We'll give it 6 columns and we'll click go. First field is ID because we need to store user ID. This is not the same as the username. This is an internal sequential number for the primary key of the database. The type is big int. The index will be primary, okay to this, and then auto increment because this is a sequential number, remember. We'll just give it a quick comment, so user ID. The next column is full name. So this is the user's full name. You could separate this out into first name, surname, that sort of thing, but we're going to do full name. Store it as a varchar, 255 characters, and then what we're going to do is just give it a comment, so user's full name. I think that's okay. We now need to add in username. This is a varchar, 255 characters. However, this one is going to be unique. So we need to put a constraint on to say no one user can have the same username. Give it a name, so we'll just call this username because it's being classed as an index. Okay, that. Give it a comment, user's username. Something like that, I think that's okay. Next field is password, varchar 255. This one is a little bit different because we need to change the correlation on this. Normally we use UTF-8 general CI for case insensitive. So use UTF-8, scroll down. And for this field, just this field, we're going to use UTF-8 underscore bin. This allows case sensitive. So with a password, obviously we're going to hash this in the database because you shouldn't be storing passwords in plain text. So even when it's hashed, we need to do a verification based on upper and lowercase letters and characters. So we need to store this value as UTF-8 bin. So UTF-8 bin, as I also just noticed that I've spelled password wrong. So I'll make sure that's correct, password. And then we're just going to give this a comment, so users password. Next one we're going to do is user active. And this is an enum, enumeration. We'll edit the sets and the values, get rid of the bottom two. We'll say no and y, so these are the only allowable values. We'll give it a default of yes. So when a new user is created, it'll have a default of it's currently active. Now, we may want to disable a user. There might be a valid reason to disable a user. So we set a flag in the database to say whether the user is active or not. So is user active? I think that's okay for a comment. And the next one we need to do is login attempts. We want to store how many tries the user has had, so we'll record the unsuccessful attempts. So integer, it'll be 1 number because we're going to have a policy that locks the user out after 3 failed attempts. So we need to record somewhere in the database where the attempts are. So we're going to give this a default value of 0 because a user should have 0 login attempts at the beginning, and that'll increment if they attempt to log in unsuccessfully. So we'll give it a comment. So it'll be attempts to log in. Yeah, I think that's fine. We'll give the table a comment. So users table. Oops. And the correlation for the rest of the fields is UTF-8, scroll down, and it's general case insensitive. So this will be for the other fields such as full name, username. Like I say, we've explicitly put that one on because we need to allow the database to check or verify based on upper and lowercase characters. For the rest of the fields, we're not bothered at all really. So we'll save that. So now we've got our users table. If we go to browse, it should be blank. That's correct. So we'll go to structure. So in the next video, we're going to actually create the endpoint to create users. So that's where we're going to start off from.